Started. I love pressing the button. I should let other people press the button. It must be fun to press the button to say, let's go. I'm here today. Good morning, good afternoon. This is Sabrina with Spoiled Agent. We are live in Facebook and in everyone's office or home, wherever you make people's dreams of travel come true. We're here to help you do that and spoil you. So we've got a treat for you today. We are here with none other than Barbados. And you know, I wear a shirt to match your logo and now your logo's white, but that's okay. Usually it's blue. And I'm here with Jason Yearwood, who's a business development officer, one of the many, and been with us at Spoiled Agent, supporting us from Canada and now in the US. How are you today, Jason?
Hey, good afternoon, Sabrina. Good afternoon to everyone who's logging on. I'm fine, thanks. Pushing through with a busy week, but always good to be with your support agent team. I think it's been a while since I've done one of these because my colleague Joyanne has been doing them as well. So it's good to be back again to share more about Barbados with everyone.
Yes, we have missed you. That's true. It's really a pleasure to have you again. We haven't seen you, excuse me, for a little while. And I know you have lots to share. And as you said, everyone's super busy. It's like the busiest, craziest time of the year.
Yeah,
In heading into Q4, everyone's traveling. And so the idea, excuse me, is that you have lots of great options. And Barbados being one of them, that you can share this information so it's fresh. So I congratulate you agents for taking the time to be here. If you have to run halfway because you're calling your clients and telling them how amazing Barbados is, we forgive you and you can come back and catch the recording at any time. Remember, ask your questions. I hope I say it right. Jason is a Barbadian. Is that what I say?
yeah, correct. You're right.
So true through and through. So he knows all the things there are to know about Barbados. So please ask your questions in the Q&A so they don't get lost in the chat, and keep the chat for all the fun stuff. So don't forget that in order to qualify for a prize, you do have to be on until the Q&A portion. If you're on Facebook and only on Facebook, please, pretty please, just enter your email so we know you were there and we'll enter you in the draw. And if you have questions on Facebook, we want to help you answer them. So just put them in the comments. And here in again on Zoom, enter them in the Q&A. So Jason was such an amazing and courteous, gracious host, offering us a prize. We have a great prize today. Do you want to share what that is?
Yeah, so our prize will be a $100 Visa gift card for a lucky winner.
Okay, so I definitely would like book a flight to Barbados with that. I know that, then that's already, and you have so many great new flights and connections, which I know you're going to talk about.
Mhm.
You just mentioned that you were in Boston talking about the one starting up from there. So that's a great use for that Visa card. Tell us in the chat, what would you do with that Visa card if you won it? And again, to qualify, you just need to stay on until the Q&A portion, and that all of those names will go into a pot along with Facebook, of course, attendees, and that gets drawn randomly. And by Tuesday, we will have that winner information. So you'll hear either from Jason or the team at Barbados or someone from Spoiled Agent. It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do is say, hey, you won something. I love my job. Okay, well, without further ado, I will let Jason get started and tell us about this fabulous destination of Barbados.
Thank you again, Sabrina. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are logging on to today's presentation. I want to thank you so much for your time and for, wanting to learn more about our beautiful island that is Barbados. So many of you, we constantly do these presentations with support agents. So you may have seen many of these slides before, but we want to keep it fresh. And today we're discussing why Barbados makes an ideal destination for travel. As you know, summer is moving along, hopefully not too swiftly. So in short order, persons will be wanting to confirm plans for winter travel and beyond. For us, Barbados, we are a year-round destination. So we are the ideal destination that you can come to whenever you have some time, whenever you want to travel, take a break, you want to experience something different. Barbados is always here for you. So you will get into today a bit about why Barbados meets the ideal destination, focusing on a few different elements. Before we jump right into the presentation, I always like to commence my presentations with a visual showing the map of the Caribbean, and of course, where Barbados is located in relation to our Caribbean neighbors. So this is a map of the Caribbean region. Barbados, we sit on the far right-hand side right here, if you can see my mouse, but we are right here on the far right-hand side of the Caribbean islands. So the closest islands to us, our neighbors, would be the Windward Islands, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, and then to our southwest, we have Trinidad and Tobago as well. All right. But again, today we're discussing why Barbados is the ideal destination. And one of the first reasons I would give to you is airlift, the ease of getting to Barbados. So in here from the US, we have quite a number of airlines and air service that goes point to point. And you and I both know, agents, that point to point service is always a thing when it comes to travel. I enjoy going point to point. I know you do and your clients do as well. So this table shows you some examples of the different airlines that service Barbados from the USA. Now, these gateways are on the eastern border of the US. So you have, of course, JFK with New York, Charlotte, American Airlines, Miami, Newark, Liberty with United, and Dallas, Washington as well, and Boston, Logan, on JetBlue servicing the Northeast and those regions in New England. All right, so that is one of the first reasons why Barbados makes the ideal getaway for a point-to-point flights. And I know for those persons who live in states where there may be no point-to-point, these are some of the areas that if even you do a connection, it's quite seamless. Many of these airlines leave in the morning, early to mid-morning, so you're still be able to get to Barbados by early afternoon, connecting through any of these gateways, and you're still able to enjoy your first evening on the island. So here's another visual representation of, the direct flights from the USA to Barbados, again, showcasing different cities and airlines that service Barbados. Now, a bit of new developments, perhaps you've heard it before, but if you haven't, here's some information for you. Barbados will be having service from JFK on American Airlines commencing from November 5th. And then also on American Airlines commencing from November 9th, we have direct airlift from Philadelphia. So that's more airlift, more point-to-point flights from the USA to Barbados. As it stands right now, JetBlue would have been a monopoly when it came to travel to Barbados from JFK, but from November, American Airlines will enter the pool as well. So we have options to choose from. And speaking about options, Delta will also have a flight from JFK as well, commencing December 21st. So now you will have three options by the end of the year, going to Barbados from JFK, and then from Atlanta, if there anyone on the call who is in the Atlanta area or nearby, Delta will have service daily from Saturday, November 23rd, from Atlanta to Barbados. So again, more point-to-point flights, or if this is applicable to you, more flights where we can seamlessly connect to Barbados. And just coming down the pipeline to us about 2 weeks ago, there's going to be a third flight from Boston Logan to Barbados commencing October 29th to March 29th. So for the winter, flights weekly from Boston Logan to Barbados will increase to 3 from Boston to Barbados. Currently, we have 2 flights in rotation, but you get a third flight. So Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you can get flights from Boston Logan to Barbados. So if you're in Connecticut, you're in Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, or Massachusetts, these are all great options for you to consider point-to-point travel to Barbados. So that's one of the first, and I think one of the key reasons why Barbados makes the ideal destination, our capacity for point-to-point flights. Also, continuing on with our reasons why Barbados makes an ideal destination, well, Barbados is large destination in the Southern Caribbean. So for you or your clients who may enjoy cruising, Barbados is a place for you to cruise from and cruise to. Many ships make calls to Barbados, and again, as the largest home porting hub in the Southern Caribbean, you can begin and finish your cruise in Barbados. Here's a list of the different cruise lines that have serviced Barbados in the past couple of years. Many of them will continue service into this year as well. All right, so many of the popular cruise lines from across the world, including North America. But from a North American perspective, here are the list of cruise lines that home port in Barbados. Yes, many times I hear people say, hey, I've been to Barbados on a cruise, but it wasn't enough time because there were so many things to enjoy. I would love to go back. Well, because lines like these pictured here are home porting in Barbados, you can now fly into Barbados, spend a few days before your cruise, and then continue on once the time for your cruise comes up. Or you may finish your stay in Barbados and then finish your cruise in Barbados and then fly out. So we call this the cruise and stay program, pre or post cruise and stay program, where you can enjoy the best of both worlds when it comes to traveling. You can enjoy your activities on sea and also on land, because Barbados gives you that seamless opportunity to enjoy both. You can fly in, commence your cruise, and then go from there, or end your cruise in Barbados and fly out. You get to enjoy the best of both worlds. There are great accommodations where you can stay, and some of the accommodations even have special rates and packages for clients who are participating in the cruise and stay program. All right. Another reason why we are a great destination to travel to is because of the plethora of accommodation on the island. Now, Sabrina alluded to it a bit earlier in her welcome when she stated that, I have been a supporter as a Barbados rep for Spoiled Agent for quite a bit. I used to do the same thing in Toronto, Canada, attached to the office in Canada for 6 years. And whilst there, we had a colleague in Nova Scotia, John Cavill. And John always used to make a joke where he would say that Barbados has accommodation from $100 a night to $100 per minute. And that was his way of saying that there is something for everyone when it comes to accommodation in Barbados, whatever your preferences may be. So again, we have great options to choose from. So for those of you who want villa accommodation, many options to choose from. Again, I always tell people, don't get scared when you hear about villa accommodation, because yes, we know that villas can come with all the bells and the whistles, and and that can come with an expensive tag. However, in Barbados, there are many villas available spanning different categories and price ranges, and you're able to have make a choice from some great options as well, and affordable options too. And remember, when it comes to villas, you are renting essentially the space. So let's say you have a large family or a group of friends who have no issue in sharing a space together in terms of kitchen and whatnot, but you have your private areas to retire when you want to. Perhaps doing a villa may be cheaper than doing a hotel, because you could get a villa for, let's say, X amount of money, but then you would divide that according to how many persons are in the family or the friend group, just for an example, versus paying a hotel for multiple rooms, and sometimes depending where you go, per person per night. If the management companies do a fantastic job as well in some concierge services, so they can get some groceries packed in for you. If you want, you can have chef, you can have security and a housekeeper. Or if you're in a smaller villa, you can get your groceries packed in, and you have full reign to be self-sufficient. So they do a fantastic job. So again, if you want to consider villa accommodation, Barbados is a great option for you. Coming down to those persons who sell luxury and have luxury clients, again, Barbados, we have great luxury on the island. Sandy Lane Hotel, our most exclusive hotel on the island. But of course, Fairmont Royal Pavilion, St. Peter's Bay, the Crane Resort, the Sandpiper, the House, these are all great options of luxury accommodations on the island. All right. Now, all inclusives. We have been hammering this home because we want persons to know that we do have an all-inclusive product in Barbados. Many persons don't think that we do, or if they know that we do have all-inclusives, they're just thinking about the two Sandals hotels. They do a fantastic job, but we do have other hotels in Barbados that are all-inclusive. Marriott All-Inclusive, formerly known as Elegant Hotel Group, they have 6 all-inclusives in Barbados, and they all have been doing renovations in phases. I saw some model rooms for Tamarind and Crystal Cove, I think it was last year, and they all did a fantastic job in terms of what well, showcasing what the rooms will look like. All right. So Marriott all inclusive. If you have clients who are Marriott members, or if you yourself you are a Marriott member, Marriott all inclusive. We have 6 hotels in Barbados. Of course, we have the Sandals properties. We also have the Ocean Hotels Group, who have 2 all-inclusives under their portfolio. And then right there in yellow, we have the Wyndham Grand St. Lawrence Castle Hotel. If any of you are familiar with Barbados, you recall that there was a beautiful hotel back in the day called St. Lawrence Castle. It closed down in the early 2000s, but last year it reopened as a Wyndham Grand property, and it is also an all-inclusive. So that brings the number of all-inclusives on the island to about 19. So again, there are options for all-inclusives in Barbados. Again, we are discussing why Barbados is the ideal travel destination. We've looked at airlift and seamless point-to-point flights of getting to the island. And now we're looking at the accommodations, the litany of accommodations spanning different categories, which you may choose from. There's something for everyone. We move our attention now to the mid-range hotels. Beautiful and very well appointed, great options for you. Many of these hotels have breakfast roped into their rat rate. I mean, invite you to get off the hotels and then get out and enjoy, some of the tasty Barbadian food that is available on the island. And people get into that a bit later as well. So Savannah Beach Club, Southern Palm, South Gap, the Radisson, all do a fantastic job for mid-range properties. And of course, we can't forget the intimate hotels of Barbados. Now, these hotels are very small. Some of them may have like 5 rooms, 10 rooms. The largest may have up to about maybe 50 rooms or so. But these also offer a great product for persons to enjoy. They're also good for those persons who are into long stay travel as well. And even though you may be staying at an intimate hotel, you're not missing out on the action. I always tell people at the same area, St. Lawrence Gap, where you see both Sandals, you see Marriott All-Inclusive Turtle Beach, you have the O2 Beach Club and Spa. That same area has small hotels like the Ross Trevor, Time Out, South Gap, Dover Beach. They're all in the same area, so you're not missing out on any activity. Great area, lots of great local spots to enjoy. The beach is also right there. So staying at a small hotel is wonderful. And it's not only for the accommodation, but also for niche specific reasons. So for example, I want to point out Sweetfield Manor right here. Sweetfield Manor is actually the venue where the lady here is floating on the flotation device in the pool. And Sweetfield, they do a fantastic job. They have an on-site restaurant called Paval. It's very beautiful. Sweetfield also has a deck where they have health and wellness and different yoga activities going on. It's very, very beautiful, very lush. And Sweetfield is where you can also do weddings and honeymoons. In fact, I had my wedding there, and it is very well tucked away. It has the largest population of peacocks in the Caribbean on property. So if you're into health and wellness, you're into romance, anything like that, Sweetfield would be a great option. So again, just sharing with you that your smaller accommodations do a fantastic job, not just in terms of staying there, but also niche specific activities. All right. So just to recap, we're speaking about why Barbados is the ideal travel destination, or one of the ideal travel destinations. We've spoken about airlift. We've spoken about the different accommodations to choose from. And now we want to get into the Barbadian experience. All right. And our Barbados product, we have pillars that speak to what the Barbados experience really is. And the first pillar right off the bat is culinary offerings. Now, I hope that you guys have had lunch already, because if you haven't, you will be hungry by the time we're finished with this section on culinary. But in Barbados, we have great meals that you can really enjoy, that Barbadian local flair. All right, so if you're into fine dining, many options are listed here. Of course, not exhausted, but great options to choose from. So tapas, the Tides, Lone Star, Fish Spot, Champers, that's my personal favorite. Bahia, all great options for fine dining in Barbados. Again, we want persons to get off the hotel and to come on out and enjoy the different offerings that the island has available when it comes to the food that we as, excuse me, that we as Barbadians enjoy. Then we move now to something a bit more relaxing. Hey, you may just want to have a nice lunch with great views. see the ocean in the distance. Here are some great places that you can go to: Tiki Barbados, Calma, Zami Cafe, Roundhouse. And many of these places, I must say, are owned by Barbadians. So even though you're having fine dining, you're having relaxed dining, you're still tasting Barbadian authentic flair. And so you are getting a true authentic experience when it comes to culinary offerings in Barbados. We move on to street food. Lest we forget oysters, fishing village, fish fry by night. It's a very beautiful spot. Great places to get some true authentic Bajan food, street style. Martins Bay, Savvy on the beach, Cuz's Fish Cutters. Cuz was once voted as one of the top 100 places to eat in the world. All great options, all great food to be enjoyed in Barbados. Pictured here are some examples of Bajan street food. We have fish cakes, we have chicken and mashed potato, coleslaw, fish and rice, turkey wings and rice, etc. And I put this here purposely because actually these are pictures that my wife took, so I give credit to her, Jaquita. She took these whilst we were on a trip in Barbados a couple of years ago. And I put this here because many people would say, oh, it's expensive to eat in Barbados. It's expensive to eat in Barbados. Well, can I tell you, now, all of the food pictured here ranges from about 12 US to about 25 US. Okay. So when I look at that, and I live in New York City, for example, there's no way that I can pay that kind of money for food and get this here in New York, with all due respect. So I'm saying that there are options to really enjoy good food in Barbados, and also inexpensive options to enjoy good meals, tasty meals in Barbados. And here are some examples of places you can go to: Casper's on the beach side, Paradise Pizza, again, oysters, just grilling. These are all wonderful places that you can eat, not break the bank, and have an authentic meal. But again, I say, hey, enjoy it all. Enjoy some street food, enjoy some fine dining, enjoy some relaxed dining. You will really, really enjoy it in Barbados, okay? Moving on now to another pillar of our product: adventure. Barbados, we're a small island. As I showed you in the map, we are the most easterly island in the Caribbean region. And because we are most easterly, we are not volcanic like our neighbors, but we are coral limestone. And because we're coral limestone, we have a lot of caves on the island. So we have the Animal Flora Cave, we have Island Safari and Sea Tours, but the most beautiful cave and the most popular cave in Barbados would be Harrison's Cave. You could do a wonderful tour at Harrison's Cave. You can see the pictures here on the tram. You have your driver and your tour guide, and you can really, really see the heart of Barbados, with the cave being located in the parish of St. Thomas, which is in the middle of our island. You get to see the geological makeup of Barbados firsthand. All right. The cave has done some expansion on the outside. So they've included zip lines, suspended walkways, bird aviaries, a challenge course. So they have made it very, very welcoming for the adventure traveler to get out and to be as adventurous as you'd want to be. And for those of you who are hardcore adventurous, there's even a tour where you can put on your hard hat, your elbow pads, and your flashlight on your hat, and you can explore the cave just like the first explorers did, crawling through all of these stalactites, stalagmites, the pools, everything. So if that's you, again, there's something for you as well. So Barbados has something for you. All right. We turn our attention now to adventure, but on the sea. We have Atlantis submarines, we have water sports and activities, Rascals Barbados Water Park. I equate this to American Ninja Warrior, but in the beach, So you put on your life vest and whatnot, they take you out on the boat, and you can go over the different obstacles, um, satisfy your competitive edge. If you're doing it with a group of friends or family, there's something for you as well. Of course, I can't continue without speaking about the catamaran cruises. Great catamaran cruises available. You can do the day tour where you snorkel with turtles, swim over shipwrecks. You get a beautiful lunch and a sail, and there's also transportation included. Or you can do a sunset tour where you can do all of the above, but at sunset, seeing Barbados and it's most beautiful when the sun is going down and you get those beautiful horizons on the water. So again, there's something for everyone to enjoy. There's a Folkestone Underwater Park and Marine Museum. So for those who really enjoy sea life, something that you can really explore. Again, this Forster Marine Museum has a connection to the McGill Institute in Canada, and many of the marine biologists are in Barbados as well. Many of them locals who do a fantastic work at Forster Marine Park. So again, there's something for you to enjoy. And then for those who love nature, we have beautiful gardens in Barbados. I must remind you that the name Barbados came from a tree. When the Portuguese came to Barbados in 1625, they saw a lot of trees that are known as the bearded fig tree, massive trees that had these long brown stalks hanging down. And the Portuguese said that it reminded them of a man with a full beard, and hence they gave Barbados the name Los Barbados, which in English is Barbados. So with that in mind, Barbados, we are known for our flora and our fauna as well. So lots of great gardens, great vegetation that you can really explore. Walker's Reserve, Cocoa Hills, Hans Gardens, and it's more than just looking at the beauty, but also seeing how how nature is roped into Barbadian life. Because for me, for example, if I barely coughed growing up, my grandmother was ready to put some coconut oil in my head. Where did coconut oil come from? Nowhere but nature. So you get to see these stories, learn firsthand how all these things, would be included into Barbadian way of life. So again, something for everyone to enjoy. We move on now to rum enthusiasts. We can't speak about Barbados and not speak about rum. Barbados, really birthplace of rum. We have 4 active distilleries on the island: Mount Gay Rum Distillery, St. Nicholas Abbey, Foursquare, West Indies Rum Distillery, and with Mount Gay being the oldest rum in the world, not just by our own confession, but the confession as well by historians who've came to the island and validated that Mount Gay rum is the oldest in the world. So lots to really explore there as well. Moving on to history and heritage, Bridgetown, our main city, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So if you're into history and learning more about Barbados, this is a great place. Not only Bridgetown, but Barbados on a whole, is a great place to learn something different. And as I always tell people, travel and tourism is all about going to some place that you may not have been to before and learning about their way of life, their history, whatnot. I think sometimes we forget the primary definition of travel and tourism. It's really all about learning about somewhere else, way of life somewhere else, people, their history, etc. So you come to Barbados, you get to learn a lot of history when it comes to Barbados. Barbados, we were a colony of England for many, many years. We got independence in 1966, and in 2021, we became a republic. We were so valued by the British that they did fortify us a lot, because we really, really contributed a lot to their economy, and Barbados was seen as a playground of the British. And a lot of our way of life is off of the British in terms of our parliamentary system, education system, even down to the side of the street we drive on is all part of the British, all right? But we are a fully independent nation. Having said that, there's lots of great history to unpack in that regard, and Bridgetown, our main city, gives you the opportunity to unpack that history. So right there, the garrison tunnels, like I said, the British set up, shop essentially in Barbados, and so they have their military barracks was there at the garrison Savannah. So now they have a tunnel that runs from the museum right down to the beach, that they would have dug out should there have been any invasion of Barbados. Then there was a way of escape for the British. All right. So Barbados, we have great tunnels that you can explore. We also have the George Washington Museum. So the George Washington Museum, you're able to go there and see where George, and I apologize for the background noise in the area where people are speaking. Just 1 second, please.
And everyone, not to worry, it didn't go quiet or you didn't lose everything. He just had to go deal. He has a bit of background noise. How fabulous is this beautiful destination? I'm actually going to share with you the link to this Spoiled Agent page. And here he is. He's back again. Hi,
So
Jason.
sorry about that. I just wanted to let the others know that I was doing a presentation.
Perfect. You did great. It's worth the wait.
So sorry about that. So yes, I was discussing George Washington House. You're probably wondering, why is there a house named after George Washington? Well, um, before he became who he became, George, his brother took sick with tuberculosis, and it was suggested that they travel to Barbados for his healing or his recuperation, and 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 so they came to Barbados and they stayed right there at the Garrison Savannah. And you can go to the house and you can see the house still kept in its original form of where George stayed. And that gives you information about the Barbados American connection. So that, again, there's lots to really see, do, and explore in Barbados. Moving on now to Freedom Park, a quick note about the young lady picture there in the top left. Everyone knows her as Rihanna. For us, Barbados, she's also known as Rihanna, but officially as the Right Excellent Robin Rihanna Fenty. And I say Right Excellent because in 2021, she was bestowed the honor of becoming Barbados' 11th national hero and the second national heroine of the island. All right. And speaking about Rihanna, you can go from a historical perspective to the house where she was born and where she was raised, right there in a place called Rihanna Drive. So you can go there and see her childhood home. But pictured here, Rihanna is by a place called Freedom Park and the Builder's Wall. This was a park and a wall built, I want to say about 2 years ago, where Barbadians have all flocked to go and see information about who we call the builders of Barbados. Barbados, we would have been the first stop on the Atlantic slave trade. So many persons would have came through Barbados and then ventured on to other islands, and whilst some remained in Barbados. So we have the largest records of censuses and archives in Barbados from across the Caribbean. And so a few years ago, the government saw it fit in recognizing, those who've gone before us. They built a wall with the names of those who helped build Barbados into what it is today. And so persons have been going down, locals and visitors alike, to have a look at these names. So it really is an integral part of our Barbados history. There's also the Barbados National Archives Department, where you can also go back and learn more about your ancestry and learn more about Barbados. There's so many documents dating back to the early settlements in the 1600s. Our Parliament building is the third oldest in the Western Hemisphere and in the Commonwealth. It's a very beautiful museum as well that you can learn more about Barbados and the Senate, where the government sits. There's also a Jewish synagogue on the island, all right? And Jews made Barbados home for a number of years. There's actually a street called Swan Street. They're the ones that really got that up and going. They're the ones that built that. I think it's named after a guy named James Swan. And so if you go to Barbados, that's one of the most popular shopping areas in Bridgetown. But you can also go to the Jewish synagogue because when the Jews built Swan Street, for mercantile reasons, then they built the synagogue not too far from it where they would go and worship. So that's something that you can really explore again in Barbados. Then, of course, there's the Barbados Museum that has artifacts not just from our time as a colony of Britain, but also going back to the first inhabitants being the Amerindians. So you can see, artifacts that would have been found over time from the Amerindians who would have settled in Barbados. So again, lots to really unpack from a historical perspective. And even though this section of the presentation focused on Bridgetown, I want to remind you that Whole Town, Town, and Oistins, the other three towns in Barbados, also have historical elements as well. Whole Town is the area of first settlement in Barbados. You can see the monument there, right there in St. James, a place called The Hole, hence the name Whole Town. Town in the north of the island, beautiful town, fishing village, but also a port of major exportation to Bristol, England. And Town was given the name Little Bristol as well. So they did a lot of exportation to Bristol, England. If you go to Town and you go to the beach, you may just be going to the beach and you'll see a cannon right there on the sand. And that's because, again, the British really heavily fortified Barbados and they put cannons in some, I want to say, unique places that you wouldn't expect cannons to be. But again, it is all part of our history, all right? So there's lots of history to really unpack in Barbados. Bridgetown is just the tip of the iceberg, but it allows you to have a truly authentic travel and tourism experience as you get to learn more about the destination. We move on to romance, getting married, or want some place to come Two, for a great honeymoon, Barbados again is a great option. If you want to get married in Barbados, ideal again because you don't have a wait period to get married in Barbados. Once you have your documents all prepared, you can fly to Barbados in the morning, go straight to the Ministry of Home Affairs, get your marriage license, get married, and you're good to go. Or if you're cruising to Barbados, you come in on your cruise, go to Home Affairs, get your marriage license, get married, hop back on your ship, and you're good to go. So again, we create an ideal environment to get married in a destination without much hassle or much time. If you don't get married in Barbados, but if you want a honeymoon, great place again, not just to kick off life as a married couple, but to kick off life as a married couple with great experiences. So all the things that I've discussed, going to Harrison's Cave, doing a catamaran cruise, going to the different culinary spots to eat. All these things are great activities that you can do together on a honeymoon. So again, Barbados makes for an ideal destination. All right. We have events and festivals as well. And when it comes to events and festivals, there's always something happening in Barbados. A few weeks ago, Kapover would have culminated. That's our longest summer festival, 3 months. It goes back to our historical days when we gave a celebration to give God thanks for a good crop. And over the years, it has morphed into a national spectacle. So you get lots of music, dancing, Grand Kaduma on the first Monday in August. You get so many things happening during the Kapoor season. It is really, a major event on our calendar, and many persons travel to the island for it. All right, moving on from Kapoor to give some examples of other events happening in Barbados, we have the Barbados Food and Rum Festival. So if you or your clients are foodies and into festivals, this is something that you can put onto your schedule, onto your radar. We have it this year happening October 24th to 27th. We have international chefs coming in, but we really use the opportunity to showcase the local talent, award-winning chefs who are Barbadian, based in Barbados, who do a fantastic job when it comes to food and rum. Mixologists as well, they do a great job. So this is a great event that you can come to. You have different experiences, some free, some paid for, but you will have a fantastic time on this culinary weekend in Barbados. And we can't speak about festivals and not speak about sporting festivals. So we have the Run Barbados Marathon, for example, the Open Water Swim Festival, the World Surfing League. They make stops in Barbados. So if you are a sports enthusiast, for example, if even you like cricket, for example, cricket World Cup was played in the USA and the Caribbean, and the finals was where? In Barbados. So if you are a sports enthusiast, Barbados again has something for you. For marathon runners, Barbados's marathon in December is actually the last marathon for the year where you can qualify for the Boston Marathon. So it's more than just doing sporting events, but it's something that you can really take seriously and look to qualify for the Boston Marathon, which we know is a big marathon on the global stage. So again, there's something for everyone, making Barbados the ideal travel destination. And to really bring the point about festivals home, I have pictured here a calendar of events for 2024. Every year, we release a calendar of events. Many of these events are annual, so like the Houghton Festival, the Sandy Gold Cup for horse racing lovers, Salt Valley Barbados. These are all annual events, Reggae Festival, the Oysters Fish Festival, these are all annual events. So we encourage you and your clients that when you come to Barbados, find out what's happening during your time on the island from a national perspective and really embrace it. Again, it's all about having an authentic travel and tourism experience. As I bring the presentation to a close, I want to bring your attention again to the Barbados Elite Club program. I know many of you are Elite Club members. Pay special attention to what I'm about to say. The Elite Club program is being revamped. We had a meeting last week where the team showed us different things that will be happening. If you are already a member, you should have received an email straight from the Elite Club platform encouraging you to sign up and to ensure that you're sign in rather and ensure that your account is active. By September 18th, any accounts that are inactive will be deleted from our platform. If you already have signed up, we don't want you to have your account deleted. So please look out for that email. If you haven't received it, reach out to us, reach out to me, and you ensure that you get that email, okay? If you are new to it, we encourage you to sign up, join us. Please select USA as your country of residence and sign into the Elite Club program. It is a 10 chapter program that you can take on your own time to learn more about Barbados, and you can log your bookings for persons you send to Barbados, and you can redeem prizes. You can redeem rewards. Rewards go from gold, silver, and bronze, and you can redeem gift cards. All right, MasterCard gift cards, and you can do it straight through the website. You don't have to depend on us to send the cards to you. When you're ready and you have enough points, you can decide, hey, I want to redeem my points for my gift card. And you do it through the system, and you get your MasterCard gift card that way. The more you log your bookings, you move from bronze to silver to gold, and you get much more rewards, including stays in Barbados, discounts, etc. And of course, through this platform, you get the opportunity to be considered for farm trips. And you also get updates on when farms have been scheduled. Okay, there are no scheduled farms at the moment, but that is something that we want to get going again. All right. So I encourage you to please pay attention to the Barbados Elite Club program and make sure you sign up and you are active on our platform. Now, with that being said, my name is Jason Yearwood. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you today, to share about Barbados with you, why Barbados is an ideal destination for you to travel to. I'm the officer for New England, so if any of you are on the line, greetings to you. Make sure you record my information. But regardless, I'm one of the officers for the entire USA. So you see my email right there. Please feel free to reach out to me should you have any questions. All right. Sabrina, over to you.
Fantastic, fantastic. I am here, and I'm just sharing your information with everyone. Facebook, and here as well, I've shared with everyone the Elite Club on Facebook, as well as the Elite Club link, so you can get there, register. How exciting.
Thank you.
We work with a lot of tourism companies, and not everybody even has rewards, and you have so many perks and so many things, and you're updating it. That's fantastic. And we thank you. You're masters of spoiling. And that's why we just love working with you, that you're so great at spoiling the agents. So I've shared your contact information, of course. Everybody is saying thank you for all the history. I learned something new today, and I've been to many of your webinars. And so very exciting, so many great things. So I'll go ahead with the Q&A, if that's okay, if you have some time, Jason.
Sure.
And if you're an agent and you have to run because you're going to go and call all your clients and tell them about Barbados, that's okay. But if you have some time and you'd like to stay on, or if you have a question, please make sure you add it in the comments of Facebook or right here in the Q&A of Zoom. So first question, do you have the Sandy Lane Hotel contact?
Yes, I can get a contact to you. Do you want to email me with that question? I can send it to you.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I'm only sorry to jump in. It's because this person, your Zoom account, maybe it doesn't have your name. It shows you as anonymous. So even if I send this report to Jason, he won't know who to contact. So
Yeah.
there's the email of Jason. I just put it in the chat. I think you're right. That would be the best way. Just email Jason and you'll get it. What are the recommendations for excursions and tours or must see or do while in Barbados?
Yeah, so I know I mentioned Harrison's Cave and the catamarans. I also mentioned Island Safari. I know I called the name in the presentation, but I didn't give much detail. So that the Island Safari is like you go on a 4x4 open truck. Of course, it's safe. You have your seat belts and whatnot, but you sit on the back of the truck. And the Island Safari team, they take you through Barbados off the beaten path, if you will. And they go through a lot of the old roads that are no longer in use. These used to be slave roads as well. Sorry to use the word slave, but just calling it what it is. And you can see Barbados from those angles too. So they go where the average car does not go. And you really see the beauty of the island. And they make stops at unique historic places as well and give you a full history too. The tour includes food. So, as Barbadians, there's food and everything. It also includes rum and snacks, and they pick you up from your hotel and take you back to the hotel. So I think for me, that's something that is a must do. So Harrison's Cave, Island Safari, a catamaran cruise, and going to Oystins, those are my 4 musts.
I love it. Okay, and food and rum all along the way. It's a dream.
Mhm.
Okay, I have clients going in October. Am I able to share these slides with them?
Yeah, for sure. So I think Sabrina, you have our slides or
I won't have your slides because you're sharing your screen.
right.
If you
Okay.
wanted to
But I can
set,
send it to you
yeah,
though. I can send it
yeah,
to you. We have the slides in PDF, so I can send
okay,
it to you, Sabrina, and you can share with the agents.
sure, sure. We could do that in the follow-up when we announce the winner next week on Tuesday.
Yeah,
We can attach the presentation, and there you go.
yeah.
Alrighty, when will the Food and Rum Fest for 2025 dates be announced? I have already got a group to book, they said.
Oh wow. So normally those are announced once the year commences. I want to say that January, February. So you have to wait until then. They normally wait until like the year prior finishes. So after this year concludes by January or so, they will announce it. But if it helps, it's normally the last weekend in October. So you can stay tuned for that confirmation. But it's normally the last weekend in October.
Okay, perfect. What was the name of the intimate hotel that you mentioned for romance? Are there suggestions for destination weddings?
Yeah, so the one I mentioned was Sweetfield Manor Hotel. But there are so many others. You have Lone Star, for example, Bellevue Great House. So I think the easiest thing to do is to visit the Intimate Hotels of Barbados. They have a website. You can just Google their name, Intimate Hotels of Barbados. And you can see some of the options there, or you go to our website, visitbarbados.org, and when you go to the section on weddings and romance, they will have some locations listed too. And just a bit about that, in Barbados, you can get married. I want to say anywhere. There are persons who got married at Harrison's Cave, got married at some of the smaller hotels. There was one couple that actually rented out what we call a minibus. It's like a public transportation. It's yellow and blue. They rented the minibus and they got married on the bus. you know,
Oh, wow.
they have their pictures. It was circulated in Barbados for a bit. They have their pictures on the bus as well. So, you can get married even in the submarine if you want. So there are quite some unique options to get married to. But for the intimate hotels, you could visit either of those two websites or shoot me an email. I can give you some more suggestions as well.
There you go. And I shared that in the chat as well, Intimate Hotels of Barbados for all
Mhm.
of you. Is it necessary to rent a car while visiting Barbados? What is the public transportation like? Do they
Right.
have a ride share there?
Yes, so there are a couple rideshare companies. There's one called BIMRide, which actually started this year, BIMRIDE, one word. There's another one that slips me right now, but those are some of the rideshare companies that you can use for public transportation. Bus fare is 350 in either direction. Regardless of where you're going on the island, it's 350 per direction. Um, Public transport is pretty okay. I think it has improved over the years. Me being a Barbadian growing up, we did have some challenges, of long waits, but no, it has improved with more buses being added to different routes. For persons who are staying on the tourism strip, it's always going to be easy because the buses always frequent those areas. So let's say you're staying on the South Coast, you can get a bus from the South Coast and go to the West Coast and get there in like 45 minutes, maybe 35, depending on time of day. Barbados, we are 21 miles long, 14 miles wide. So there's no place too far in Barbados. Even though growing up, I used to think that it was far to go from the south to the north. But then when I moved to Canada and then moved to the US, that theory was quickly debunked because there's no place far in Barbados when you're in these bigger countries and you're driving for 3 hours. You know, so bus fare is 350. You can get buses easily on the tourism strips, where a lot of the hotels are located on the west and the south coast. Taxi services are also available as well from the airport, and there are fixed rates as well, so you don't have to worry about getting quoted different prices. And there are also taxi services that work closely with hotels as well. Once you go to your hotel, you say, "Hey, I want to go XYZ place. Can you organize a taxi for me?" They can give you a hookup. So you have options as well. But to answer the last part of the question, if you should rent a car, personally, even when I go home, I rent a car because you just want to do things on your own time, on your own steam, and just get around without the
Restrictions, right? You just
yeah,
have
of
freedom.
waiting for someone. Yeah.
It gives you freedom. Okay. Next
Mhm.
question. How can we get a copy of the newsletter with festivals by month?
Copy of newsletter, I can share it with you. So that's not a problem. But again, our website, visitbarbados.org, they also have a section that says things to do. So once you go to the things to do section, the website lists different activities happening by month. So it is also virtually available on our website,
So it's barbados.org, right?
visitbarbados.org.
Visit Barbados, excuse me. Okay, perfect. I'll share that link in just a moment.
Mhm.
Okay, can Jason set me up with fam tours now for my trip in November?
Not now because we don't have any schedule, but it is something that we want to restart. Like I said before, best way to really get onto our farms once they restart is through our Barbados Elite Club program. So I encourage you to please sign up if you haven't already. If you have, make sure your account is active, and that will be your ticket towards being invited to some farms. You really want to start back doing farms in earnest.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, and there is the Visit Barbados site, Visit Barbados in the chat box. What is the best time to travel to Barbados weather-wise?
Weather-wise, I would say December to April, when it's winter up here. Barbados, we sit outside of the hurricane belt. So we haven't been affected by a major hurricane since 1955 with Hurricane Jeanette. We did have a system pass over us in 2020 that did cause some damage to some homes and whatnot. Hurricane Beryl passed the island earlier this year to the south. We had some issues on the seaside in terms of the fishing boats and whatnot, but it didn't hit us directly or anything like that. So I always tell persons if you want to avoid the hurricane season, December to April would be your better bet.
Okay, perfect. And I don't know if you know this because you're in the US, but Celine, hi Celine says, when are you back to Montreal?
Oh, well, the Canadian team is very robust in Montreal right now. I believe the officer there now is Ukulele Wilson. So I suggest that you reach out to BTMI Canada. Their website,
Yes,
their email is listed online,
yes,
and you
of
can reach
course.
out to the Canadian team. I know Sabrina she can connect you to the team,
Of course.
through Kelly and them. But yeah, for sure, we're in Montreal. Montreal is a big market for us, even when it was wearing a Canadian hat. It was a big market for us if direct flights on Air Canada. So they're doing a fantastic job in Montreal. I think there was some kind of a Barbados presentation a couple of months ago in Montreal as well. So
There you
definitely,
go.
I know Sabrina can help you out with getting information on the Barbados rep for Montreal.
Absolutely. Yes, I have all the Canadian people and they're coming your way right now. Um, is the synagogue and cemetery still open for tours or pilgrimage?
The Jewish synagogue, yes.
Okay, perfect. And here comes in the chat here, let me see here. I'm just going to enter those for you, Celine. There you go. I've sent you a chat message privately for Montreal, so you have that. And that is so perfect. Okay, I feel like we've got to go, we've finished through all the questions, which is fabulous. I'm just double checking our Facebook team here. Also, nothing but fantastic questions. Happy to be here. Uh, Absolutely love Bajan food. Everybody's hungry. Everybody loved the history lesson. So lots of great comments, but we don't have anything outstanding, so we did a good job. Okay, two more questions came in. That's how it goes. Thank you, spoiled agents. Okay, looking to come for Christmas with a family and we'll need a villa and contacts to reach out to.
Mhm. Yeah, so again, send me an email and I can put some suggestions for some of the villa management companies that you can reach out to directly.
Okay, perfect. So here goes in the chat, Jason's email and name and everything is again, so you have that. Now, how is the fishing and charters for fishing trips?
Yeah, no, Barbados is really a fishing village as a country, so fishing is good. What I admit to you again that with the passing of Hurricane Beryl, the fishing industry was hit quite hard, with many boats unfortunately sinking. As the storm passed, south of the island, but there are different fishing charters as well. In the things to do section on our website, you can see those charters and you can go fishing as well. Yeah, so there are many options to choose from in that regard too.
Ah, fantastic. And didn't you say it was like one of the best restaurants in the world? Cuz,
Yeah, Cousins Fish Shack right there on Pebbles Beach.
well, there you go. That sounds like then definitely you're the place to go for fishing and eating fish too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, this was a fantastic session. As always, you always bring in new tidbits and information that we find so interesting. The Spoiled Agents love hearing from you. So thank you for that. And
Much.
we really, really are excited that you were able to come. Melinda says her dad was from Barbados. I've never been. Is the archive easily available? She'd
Yeah.
love to learn more
So
about the ancestors.
yeah, for sure. Once you go to the Barbados Archives Department, and they have their own website as well. You can schedule an appointment. Sometimes they actually do what is called a genealogy fair. So they host it on the island. I think they do it twice a year where they invite the public to come on out and really sign up. So I mean, but even outside of that, and I know people who've gone, you can just go and to the archive department, set an appointment, and you can get the ball rolling on learning about your history and heritage. So that's something that even I want to do,
That's beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a beautiful part of our story as humans, right? That's lovely to
Hmm.
go back to your roots. Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks everyone. Look at all the hearts coming in because we
Yeah,
have
I'm seeing a
lots
lot of
of
hearts. Yeah, thank you so
lots
much.
of Barbadians here with us today, showing the love. Look at that. Everybody loves so many things, and you can see with the smile from Jason, what a beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful island and country, and a place that's definitely on my list, and I know so many of yours as well. So I want to thank all of you for attending. Thanks, Jason, for a fantastic webinar. We'll tell you who
Pleasure.
the winner is by Tuesday next week. And do you have any final words you'd like to share before we sign off?
Yeah, the only final words would be a thank you to all the agents and advisors for coming out today. We really appreciate it. Whenever I do these sessions, I always see numbers in excess of 100. So that means then that, Barbados, we're doing something good when it comes to, garnering interest to our beautiful island. And I thank you as well for all the interaction. Again, we're all about really satisfying the travel crave for you and your clients and really making it a worthwhile experience. So we look forward to welcoming you all and look forward to working with you. So thank you again for your support.
Of course. Thank you, everyone. We hope we're here pushing Barbados, and we hope to see you very soon on another session with us. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.